Hello all, this is Sadbir Singh. Just to introduce myself, I have overall 9 years of experience in Oracle EBS and Oracle Cloud. My expertise areas are SQL, PL SQL, Oracle ERP, AOL, OAF, ADF, XML Publisher Report, and from last 2 years, I've been working in Oracle Cloud, like FBDI conversions and web services and ADF and other areas of Oracle Cloud. So coming to this course is basically uh, covers the very basic of conversions in Oracle Cloud. So we will also cover what is the difference there's a difference how we do a conversion in Oracle ERP and Oracle Cloud, and we are going to see uh, what is the difference and how we can do the conversions in Oracle Cloud. So this course will not be intended to cover a deep dive into Oracle conversion or any practical. This is just an introduction that what is the difference, how we do the conversions in Oracle EBS and Oracle Cloud, and what are the methods available in Oracle Cloud to perform the conversion. So let's get started, and we'll try to understand from very beginning of like what is a conversion. So if I go about conversions, right? So we can simply say that bringing the data from one source to another source is called conversion, right? So also, where does the data get stored? Data gets stored in a table, right? So we are mainly talking about ERPs, right? When we talk about conversions, I'm talking about ERPs. And if I want to bring the data from one ERP to another ERP, or we can say from one source to another source, that is called conversion, right? And ERP is based on a database, and in the database, the data is stored in a table. So if I want to bring the data from the other source, that from that source also the data is getting stored in a table, and in Oracle ERP or Oracle Cloud ERP, the data is stored in a table. So basically it means that we are bringing the data from the other source table to Oracle Cloud source table. So this is the basic of conversion. Now there are basic terms like we talk like legacy system and third party system in Oracle Cloud. So what is a legacy system and what is a third party system? So any system which is not Oracle system, we call it as a legacy system or a third party system. So when we talk about conversion in Oracle Cloud, we say that we are bringing the data from Oracle, or we are bringing the data from legacy system to Oracle Cloud system. Or we also say that we are bringing the data from third party system to Oracle Cloud system. And that is basically called conversion. Now, if any of you have done Oracle EBS, you may be knowing about this process, how we used to do Oracle conversions in Oracle EBS. But I want to give a brief about how we used to do the conversion in Oracle EBS, right? So so conversion in EBS is different. Definitely, it's a different from Oracle EBS in many ways, in terms of access, in terms of flexibility of data. And if I want to give you, okay, how is it different in terms of access? In Oracle EBS, we used to have the access of the database. Like we can go to the database, we can log into the Oracle database, we can see the data, we can select the data, we can insert, update, or do any DML operation to the data in the table in Oracle EBS. But that flexibility or that access we don't have in Oracle EBS. Just to take an example, when we used to do a conversion in Oracle EBS, and if in case there's some issue in one of the data in Oracle EBS, we can directly update the data in staging table, and we can go ahead with converting that particular data again, right? But those kind of flexibility is not available in Oracle Cloud, as you know that, okay, we don't have the access of Oracle database in Oracle Cloud or Fusion. We can't do all those stuff in Oracle Cloud. Okay, so now coming to the conversion process in Oracle EBS, right? So how does the conversion process work in EBS was, we used to get the data as a flat file. It may be a CSV or a TXT file from the legacy system. and we used to load that data into staging table, which was a custom staging table which we used to create in our Oracle database. We used to load that data flat file basically using the utility called SQL loader into that staging table. Once the data was loaded into the staging table, we used to write our PLC code program, which we used to call conversion program. Now, that PLC code program or that conversion program was responsible for picking up the data from our staging table, validating the data if it is the data which have been loaded through the flat file, is it correct or not? Is it correct data to get into our base table or standard Oracle table? So there can be a lot of validations. It can be a validation as simple as validating that mandatory data have been provided by the flat file or not. Or another validation can be that, okay, uh, there are just to take an example, the operating units, right? Uh, when we load the transaction data in our Oracle EBS, we load transaction data, and operating unit was one of the common columns which we used to load. Now, the operating unit which we used to pass from the flat file, those operating unit should be there in our standard tables. So we do the validation that, okay, the operating system which is passed as a flat file, that is already present in our Oracle EBS or not. In case it is not, we used to fill the data, right? So our PLC code program will do those validations that mandatory columns are provided, the setups are there or not, and all those things. Those validation we used to do using our PLC code conversion program. Now, once that PLC code program does the conversion, we segregate the data in the staging table. The data which has passed the validation and the data which has not passed the validation and has failed the validation. So obviously we will pick the data which has passed the validation, and what we will do, there were two ways of putting the data into our Oracle EBS standard table. So Oracle has provided us standard API, and there was another method called interface method. Using the standard API, it's a standard PLC code program which accepts some parameters. We used to pass our data as a parameter to the standard API, and it used to create the data into the base table. The second method was to uh, load the data from the staging table to our interface table and then run the interface program. Now, the interface program will pick the data from the interface table and load the data into base table. Now, again, as you guys know that there were error tables as well, which were involved. In case there are any errors while running the interface program, we can go ahead and see the and interface table, and we can see what errors we have got, and we can resolve those errors, or we can put another data and try to load into the base table. Now, you will see that the method which I was explaining as interface method, right? The same method is somehow got repeated in our Oracle Cloud as well. But loading the data into our staging table and then putting the data into the interface table, this particular method has got changed in our Oracle Cloud system. So that is the main difference which I see in Oracle Cloud. And obviously, we don't have the access to the database, so we can't manipulate the data directly by going into and logging into the database. So that is the main difference, as we have already talked about it. Moving ahead of understanding the basic of conversions in Oracle Cloud, Oracle Fusion. So there are basically three ways, or I can say three methods which Oracle has provided us, by which we can convert the data into Oracle Cloud. So the first method which I want to talk about is FBDI template, which is nothing but file-based data import. The second method is ADF DI, which is ADF Desktop Integration. And the third is ADF BC Services, Business Component Services. This is the third method which Oracle has provided. Now, there are these are the three different methods which Oracle has provided, and obviously we have to choose one of these methods while doing Oracle conversion. Now, we will talk about this in detail, what all these three methods are, and also we will talk about when should we go with which method. like when should we use file-based data import method, when should we use ADF DI method, or when should we use ADF business component services method, right? So now, so as we talk about FBDI template, so in this slide, what I will talk about is we'll try to introduce of all these three methods, and then we will try to go ahead and understand each one of them in detail. So firstly, talking about FBDI template. So what is FBDI? It's a template. It's a simple Excel-based template provided by Oracle, which can be downloaded from OER. So there's a good website called OER provided by Oracle, using which where we can get a lot of information about Oracle Cloud, and from there itself we can download these templates. Now, what does this template do? This template have the columns. This template have all the columns, and we need to fill our data in this Excel. Now, once we fill the data in this Excel, we can generate CSV file and a zip file using the same Excel file. So it's basically using the same template. We will there is a button using the macros. They have created a button, and when you click on that button, it creates a zip file uh, which will be saved in your laptop. You can upload the zip file into Oracle Cloud, and then we can run our standard Oracle programs, which will help us to load the data into our Oracle Cloud tables. So this is just a brief. We will understand in detail how does FPDI works. But yes, just to briefly understand, it is a template which we can download from OER. We can fill the template by our data, and we can create a zip file out of that, and we can upload it to the Oracle Cloud, which will help us to load the data into our base table. Now the second method is ADF DI template. So again, this is again Excel based template, which you can download it from Oracle Cloud itself. Now you will say that, okay, what is the difference between FBDI template and ADF DI template? So FBDI template we get it from OER, but ADF DI template we can directly get it from Oracle Cloud ERP itself. So now the difference being that ADF DI directly connects with the Oracle Cloud ERP. So from the Excel itself, from the template itself, we will directly connect to the Oracle Cloud ERP, and we will put the data into this Excel template, and there's a button called probably a save button, uh, and import the data. When I click on that button, it directly uh, load the data into our base table. You don't have to go to or you don't have to just save this Excel, create a zip file, and then upload into the Oracle Cloud using upload button and all those things. You don't have to do as we do in FBDI. It directly, you need to populate the data into this Excel sheet, and you need to click on that button, and it will load the data into our base table. Okay. The third method is ADF BC services, ADF business component services, which is, so I hope you guys are aware the basic what is a web service. So um, web service also can be used to load the data into the interface table, and when after that we run the program, the standard programs given by Oracle, which will load the data into our base table. Now, just to test the web services, you can use the softwares like SOAP UI, and you can test your web services which is provided by Oracle. You can create a sample payload to pass the data, and once you run the web services, you will upload the data into the interface table, and then you can go to the Oracle ERP cloud and run the interface program, and the data will get loaded into our base table. So this is the brief of what these are the three methods which are provided in Oracle. Now let's understand in detail about all these FPDI, ADF DI, and ADF business services. So now let's understand file-based data import in detail. Uh, the short form, we call it as a FBDI template in short. So let's go ahead and try to understand this process. So The first process which is involved in file-based data import is extracting the data. So this is not related to Oracle Cloud. You need to download the data from your legacy system. You can export the data from your source system, and it is done outside Oracle Cloud. And this is not related to our Oracle Cloud. So so if you're working in an Oracle Cloud project, you'll have to ask your client, you have to ask your business user to extract the data. Or sometimes we also get the access of source system from where we can download the data. So the data can be given as a flat file, a Excel file, a CSV file. So it can be provided at different means. And those extract data we'll have to, the idea is to upload this extracted data into our Oracle Cloud system. Now, as I told, this extract process is outside of our Oracle Cloud. There's no way Oracle Cloud helps in extraction right now. The second method is called transform, right? So as you guys know that when we do a conversion, right, the data which will be provided through the legacy system, it may not be the same data which we need to load into Oracle Cloud. You may have to transform the data, right? So again, the transformation you'll have to do using your own program, how you want to do it. You may have a different database where you'll be transforming the data. Oracle Cloud doesn't help in transformation. You may require to transform it, like you need to get the IDs of a column, you need to get the name of a column or a name of business unit, and you need to get the ID out of that business unit. So you may need to transform your data according to the data required by Oracle Cloud. Now the question can come up is that how do I know that okay, this data will be required to load the data into our Oracle Cloud? So obviously, the template can be downloaded from OER. As I told you, that file-based data import is nothing but downloading a template from OER. So if you are using, so what I recommend is that you should download the FBDI template of the same version of which you are using the Oracle Cloud. So in case you're using a Oracle Cloud of version 19A, then you should go ahead and try to search the FBDI template of the same version 19A. So when you download the template, and when you open the template, and you need to make sure that you enable the macros when you open the template. If macros are not enabled, you'll not be able to create the zip file and CSV file which you need to create it from your FBDI template. So now, when you download the FBDI and when you open it, you see the columns are there, and also Oracle help us by giving some sample data already populated in that template. Now you'll see that, okay, these are the columns which are there, and these are the data which I need to provide to upload the data into our Oracle Cloud. So once you know which columns are there and what kind of data it is accepting, those kind of transformation you will require after the extraction of data from the source system. So basically what I'm saying is download the FBDI template from OER, see what columns are there in that template, see what data is already populated in that FBDI template, and transform your data which you have got from your source system according to the template. Now this transformation can be done using maybe you have written a PL/SQL program, or you have written a program in your source system itself which gives you the data in a transform way, right? So this is again outside of Oracle Cloud, and there's no control on that by Oracle Cloud. So once you have got the transform data, what we do is we load this data into FBDI template. Now you'll say how I upload the data into the FBDI template. It's nothing but it's just populating an Excel sheet. It's something like an Excel sheet. Now you just have to, either you can just copy paste the data into your template, into this Excel template, and that is all. So this is how how you populate the data in Excel sheet. The same way you can populate the data into Oracle FBDI template. Once the data has been populated in FBDI template, there'll be a button called save and generate CSV file. So once you click and save and generate CSV file, it generates a CSV file and a zip file out of that FBDI template. So once the zip file has been created successfully, what we need to do? So this is the starting of the process of conversion in our Oracle Cloud, uploading the data in the FBDI template and generating a zip file and the CSV file. So once the zip file and CSV file have been generated, what we need to do? We need to load the zip file into our Oracle Cloud. So what we do is we load the data into our UCM server, which is also called as content management server. So there's a navigation where you can go and upload this zip file, and we will see this in the practical classes, that how to load the data into this UCM server. So what we do is we load the data into our UCM server, and when we go when the data or when the zip file have been loaded to the UCM server, we go ahead and run the program. So the program name is load interface data into interface table, load data into interface table. So what it does is when you run this program, they will ask you that, okay, for which entity you're loading this template. You're loading it for the supplier, you're loading it from AP invoices, or you're loading for AR invoices, or you're loading for GL interfaces and all those things, right? So you need to provide, when you're loading this file, you need to provide that, okay, I am loading this FBDI template for this particular entity. And when you run this program, the file gets stored into loaded into our interface table. So as you guys know, if you have done our EBS conversion, there are different interface tables for different entities. For supplier, there'll be a different interface table. For AP invoices, there'll be different interface table. For AR invoices, there'll be different interface table. So when you load the zip file into our UCM and run the program load interface, load data into interface table, it loads the data into the same interface table for which you have provided. Obviously, if you're loading a file for supplier and you say that I'm loading and you run the program using AP invoices, then the data will not get loaded and the program will go into error. So once the data has been loaded to the interface table, you need to run another program, which is called our interface program. Once you run this interface program, the interface program will pick the data from our interface table and load the data into our base table. Now, this interface program does the validation of the data, checks if the data is correct or not, and then only it will load the data into our base table. In case there is any error in the data, we can go ahead and check the status in the interface table that the data has got loaded or not. Oracle has also provided us interface error tables where we can go ahead and check if the data has got any errors, then we can check those errors in the interface error tables. So just to repeat what we have learned in file-based data import, we download the FBDI template, we populate the FBDI template, and by clicking on the button, we generate the FBDI template. Now, after that, once the zip file have been created, those zip file we load into UCM server by running one program, which will load the data into interface table. So once the data has been loaded into the interface table, we run the interface program, which will load the data into our base table. So basically, we are running two programs in our Oracle Cloud. One program will load the data into our interface table, and the second program will pick the data from the interface table and load the data into our base table. There is another again, before you run the interface program, we need to make sure that our zip file is there in our UCM server. If it is not there in the UCM server, it will not pick any file and it will not load into interface table. So this is the brief about file-based data import. I'm not sure if it looks very complex or it looks very easy, but yes, when we will see the practical of this, you'll see it's actually a very easy process. And we'll be seeing from the starting, from downloading the FBDI template and populating it, running the program. We'll go to Oracle Cloud, we'll run the interface program, and we'll see how the data gets populated into the base table. So all these things we are going to see in our practical classes, which will be there in the upcoming videos. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try to understand another method provided by Oracle Cloud, which is called ADF Desktop Integration. So this method is I'll say it's simpler than FBDI template. But yes, it has some limitation of over FBDI template. So we'll talk about that in the later slides. That okay, how does ADF is different, and when should we use FBDI template, and when should we use ADF desktop integration? Now, using FBDI template, you don't need to install any software. Just that you need to make sure that you have Excel, and the macros can be enabled in those Excel sheets. But for ADF desktop integration, you'll have to download one ADF DI installer software, and you don't have to go anywhere. You can download it from your Oracle Cloud ERP system itself. In the Oracle Cloud ERP system itself, you'll get this installer, and you can install this software. So the first step in ADF desktop integration is download the software. So once you have downloaded the software, what we can do is we can download the template of ADF DI. Now, you need to understand that not every entity desktop integration can be used. Why I'm saying this is like for conversion, you can use mostly there are FBDI templates for every entity which you want to convert, but ADF DI is not present for every entity. It is available for limited entities as of now. So what we need to do is, suppose you want to load AP invoices, right? So you'll have to go to the AP invoices screen and download a template. You'll have to go to the task, and you need to say that, okay, download or upload invoices using spreadsheet. When you click on that particular task, it will download one Excel. It will download one Excel, which is also, if you see, it is shared in the screenshot which is provided here. So what you need to do, you need to go to the AP invoices pages and click on the task and say that upload invoices using spreadsheet, and it will download one Excel sheet. So once you open that Excel sheet, it will ask you for a connection. You need to give your username and password, your credentials for Oracle Cloud ERP, using which you have gone to AP invoices page. The same credentials you need to use. And when you open the Excel, it will ask for these credentials. And when you give those credentials, it will connect directly to the Oracle Cloud ERP system. Now, what you need to do is you need to upload the data into this template. You'll have to see what data needs to be provided, what columns are mandatory. Those columns you need to provide in this template. And once you have populated the data into this template, there's a button called Save and Import Invoices. So once you click on that button, what it does is it uploads the data into the interface table and run the interface program. And you'll say that, okay, interface program may have some parameters. So how do we pass those parameters, right? So once you click on Save and Import Invoices, the parameter window comes in the Excel itself, where you can give different parameters and you can run the interface program. So what I'm saying is, you don't need to go. So once you have installed, once you have downloaded this spreadsheet from the Oracle Cloud ERP, you don't have to go to the Oracle Cloud ERP to run any program. From the Excel sheet itself, you can directly just populate the data and upload the data into the base table. And even you can run your interface program from your template itself. Okay, so yes, it is much more easier than FBDI template, but as I told, it has some limitation, and the limitation being the FBDI template, you can load huge amount of data, but using ADF DI, it is not used for a huge amount of data. The Excel gets hanged, and this desktop integration tool itself doesn't work quite very well with huge amount of data. So when the huge data is involved, definitely you'll have to go with the FBDI template and not with ADF desktop integration. Now, going ahead with the next method, which is ADF business component services, right? So if you guys have worked with web services, so basically what Oracle has done is, Oracle has exposed many ADF business component web services, which can be used to build inbound integration for a standalone ADF based application. So basically what does it mean is that Oracle has given us a web service which is exposed and which we can use in our ADF. Like for example, if you guys are aware of ADF, we can create a proxy of web services. We can create a page, and that using that page, we can directly insert the data into our Oracle Cloud. So what will happen is we'll have a ADF page, and where we will be inserting our data manually into our text boxes. And when we click on the text box, when we click on our submit button, those submit button will call our web services, and that web service will insert the data into our base table. So, but before going ahead and creating a ADF page for that, right? Uh, what we need to do is we'll have to test our web services, for which we can use a SOAP UI. We can get a sample payload from the OER itself. From OER, you can get the sample payload, which you can populate in our SOAP UI, and you can call this web services and see that what's the response we are getting from the Oracle Cloud. Again, there are different web services by using which you can directly upload into the base table, or you can load into the interface table, and then you can run your interface program and upload the data into our base table. So again, if you are if you are a technical person, you may know how to create a ADF UI, or how to use a SOAP UI, then probably you can use this method. But if you are not familiar with the coding, and you are not familiar with uh, like web services before, we can use FBDI template and ADF DI template. So in case you are a functional person who is working on Oracle Cloud, you can easily use FBDI template and ADF DI template to upload the data into Oracle Cloud. You don't have to worry about ADF Business Component Services. Now, again, ADF Business Component Services, when I'm talking about web services, obviously what comes in our mind is that SOAP web service or REST web services, right? So Oracle has provided us both SOAP and REST web services. And as you guys know that REST web services are much more faster than the SOAP web services. So Oracle is moving towards REST web services from SOAP. But yes, right now we have got both SOAP and REST. And using the JSON payload, we can use the REST web services and load the data into our Oracle Cloud system. Now, nothing much to explain in this. Probably this we can see in our practical classes. And just to end here, what I want to say is this video is just to give a brief and introduction of what methods are present in Oracle Cloud. There's no practical classes in this video, but in coming video, each component, each method, FBDI, ADFDI, and web services will be covered practically from step-by-step process. And we will see how to download the FBDI template, how to populate it, how to run the interface program, and how the data is seen in our backend and the front end. Same we are going to see with ADFDI, how to install the software, how to load the data into that template, and then how to run the import program from the Excel sheet itself. And then also we will use SOAP UI to test one of the web services to check this ADF Business Component Services. But yes, all this will be part of ADF Business Component Services. So if you have liked this video, if you understand what I'm explaining, please like this video. Please give your comments and reviews so that I can make more videos which will help you to start working on Oracle Cloud conversions. Thank you, and we'll meet again in coming videos. Thank you.